Hi, it's Dorothy Guiding with Scrapbooking Quebec. Today I'm here for the Scrapbook Nerd online shop, and I'm going to be creating a 12 by 12 layout featuring the Where to Next collection by Vicki Boutin. If you're tuning in between July 14th and 16th, 2023, the Beach Party online crop is happening over on the Scrapbook Nerd Facebook group. So be sure to head on over. There are challenges, prizes, and tons of inspiration. And you have a week to complete the challenges. I'll put a link to that Facebook group below. If you're too late, no big deal. I have a fun and easy page design to teach. So you're about to see the material I'll be using. I have selected some paper from the Where to Next collection, and I have a ton of embellishments. These products came from the Scrapbook Nerd online shop. So I'm going to put a link to the shop along with the products I use in the description box below. So without further ado, let's get started. And you're going to see I have a piece of 12 by 12 Basil marshmallow cardstock for my foundation page. Here's the paper I've selected. I don't end up using all of it, but that was my narrowed down selection. I have 3 photos that I matted in white cardstock, and I have a tray full of embellishments. So I did some fussy cutting. I have some flowers along with some tropical leaves. I am not a fussy cutter, but these were really, really easy to fussy cut. I'm showing you the papers right now. And for the leaf one, I did one from the 6x8 paper pad as well, just because the prints on the 6x8 paper pad have a smaller scale, and that gave me a variety in sizes of leaves. I have ephemera, cut apart sheets. This is a papyri pack. I also have cardstock stickers, chipboard stickers, puffy alphas. I don't end up using all of this, but this is what I have in my tray. And those geotags are from 49 in Market from a travel collection. These are travel pages, and I've been using that a lot lately. So I have it there, but I don't end up using it. I'm just showing you a few die sets, and throughout the process, when I use the die sets, I'll talk about them. The first thing I'm going to do is start preparing my foundation page. Now for this striped paper, I'm cutting a 1/2 inch by 12 inch strip first because I want the stripes to be kind of going up and down. I want a 1/2 inch strip where I can see all of these colors. Then what I will do is put this paper, this striped paper, in my trimmer, but I'm going to flip it on its side. So I'm going to have a 4-inch strip by 11.5 inches, but typically it's to go across the page. I would do it at 12 inches, but you're going to see later on I fudge it, so it's going to look like it goes entirely across the page. Anyway, I did that because I wanted those stripes at the top of the page. Now what you're going to see me do is addition 2 different papers, because what I want to do here is create a mat for my photo. So I have the blue, I have the yellow, they both work, but I end up going with the yellow because I really want to go with a lot of colors for this layout. I want it to be a beachy, fun, colorful layout. So I'm going to cut this yellow paper down as well. And again, I will put measurements for all of this on the screen a little bit later on. And don't forget, for that 4-inch border that you see mine in striped paper, I'm going to be writing 4 by 12, but actually mine is only 4 by 11.5. And you're going to see how I work with that a little bit later on. I did that so that I could use that striped paper at the top of the page. I absolutely love multicolored striped papers. So what you see me doing right now is just adhering my photos on that photo mat. And I started with the bottom, then the top, then I positioned the middle photo right in the middle between the 2 of them. And now I'm just using a bit of ink, and I inked up those striped papers. So what I'm going to do right now is place everything on the page. Now, a typical Dorothy would put everything straight, but today I'm putting everything on an angle. Now, before determining my angle, what I'm going to do is cut myself out a piece of paper, this yellow paper, on an angle. And the order in which I am doing this is important. I'm creating my angle by cutting this tiny strip of paper that's going to go at the top of the page. And mine goes down about 1 1/4 inch on the left and it spans out about 9 inches across the top. The reason why I started with that is because I want everything on the page to follow the same angle. So it was much easier for me to start with that yellow strip at the top and then work with the angle that I created with that to place that 4-inch border that goes towards the bottom of the page. And when I adhere it, I hope that all makes sense. I'm starting by adhering that yellow piece at the top of the page, and you saw me come in with a bit of sticky specs tape. That was that yellow sheet of paper. I'll get it out in a moment. That's because the very tip of that yellow angled piece of paper was so tiny. That sticky specs tape is fantastic for tiny detailed pieces. Once that was down, then I adhered that 12-inch striped paper at the top. And what was important when I placed that was that the paper that went on the far right totally bled off the page. What you want to avoid here when doing that is having that strip of paper kind of end in a square chunk at the end. You really want that to bleed off the page. And you also saw that once it was all adhered down, I basically trimmed the paper that was excess, the striped paper that was hanging over the edges of the 12 by 12 paper. So my angle is established. So what I'm doing right now is I'm adhering that striped 4-inch border following that very same angle. That's why I'm coming in with that T-square. I'm just making sure that I have equal distance from that striped border at the top to the striped border that's kind of going across the middle of my page. And obviously there is a big hole in the middle, but that's going to be covered up with my photo mat along with my journaling box. So once again, I'm putting it in my trimmer and I'm just trimming off the excess. Also, even if I did have a 12-inch piece of paper to form it on an angle like that, it wouldn't have been long enough. So it's great that I can fudge it right there. It could work, but I would have to cut the 12 by 12 paper totally and on an angle. This is kind of a way of saving paper. I just have a 4-inch strip of paper. I probably didn't need to tell you all of that. Anyway, you can see I am playing around with the placement of my photo here. Now I could go straight with this. It would look really nice actually, but I am going to go on an angle. I am showing you that off camera, I cut myself out a planner page in some graph paper from Simple Stories. That is a planner page die from the Elizabeth Craft Design Planner Essentials series. I will link it up below. The Scrapbook Nerd has tons of these planner page dies and they are so useful. They're useful for layering pieces as well as journaling. That's what I use them for. So you can see I have it kind of layered underneath my photo mat and I decide to go on an angle. So off camera, I got out all of my embellishing and I'm showing you I prepared my title in advance. So I'm showing you a piece of paper that I backed in an adhesive sheet. The adhesive sheets I used are called Be Creative tape sheets. Basically, I cut myself out a piece of paper and that came from the 6x8 paper pad, backed it in a self-adhesive sheet, so that made the paper sticky, and then I ran it through my die cutting machine with these alpha dies, which are from Tim Holtz. They are part of the Tim Holtz Alphanumeric Stretch collection. Fabulous dies. They will be linked below. And basically, I popped out some self-adhesive letters. I also showed you all of the other embellishing I have around me, the cardstock stickers, chipboard stickers, my die cuts, my ephemera. Now what I'm going to do is start creating two main embellishment clusters. In the bottom right, basically the bottom right of the journaling box, and a smaller repetition of that in the top left. So I started with that big floral fussy cut piece, then I came in with some fussy cut leaves, did the same thing on a smaller scale on the top left. I'm trying to position my title in there, so I'm just playing around with the placement. I'm worried that my title is going to be lost, but it is on wax paper, so hopefully that's just making it a little bit more difficult right now, and I will see it better once it's adhered straight to the page. What you see me doing right now is cutting out a washi tape sticker, which is from the Papery pack. It's like almost like a, I don't know, a splotch, a green ring. And I placing it underneath that title area, and I do end up sticking that down later on. I went into the sticker sheet. Now I have a sun, so I'm going to put that in the top left corner. I definitely want to come in with some finishing touches, but I have a lot of loose pieces on my desk, including the photos and the planner page. So what I'm starting with is adhering the pieces that go flat to the page. So I did that with the sun in the top left. Now this kind of green ring washi tape sticker from the Papyri pack, I'm putting that towards the bottom where my title's going to go later. And now what I'm going to do is just adhere my photo block along with my journaling planner page. And when I put adhesive on these, I put them a little bit towards the inside because I may want to tuck some embellishments in and around and under these elements. So now what I'm doing is adhering the flowers down along with the leaves there. I am going to come in with the title at this point. And you see me getting out my T-square because what I want to do here is I want to follow the same angle that I've been following all along when I place my title. And I'm just using one of the stripes in the paper as my guide. And then once I'm happy with the placement, I'm going to start adhering the word beach down. And it's basically totally overlapping these flowers. And I'm so happy that these tiny thin alphas that cut out very, very well are adhesive. So off camera, I continued adhering my title, including the word life that you're going to see in a moment overlaps the word beach. And now I'm working on that cluster. It's just a repetition of the larger cluster, only a lot smaller in the top left corner. So now what I'm going to want to do is come in with a little bit of finishing touches. And I want to add a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more texture by adding maybe some dimension to these. So I'm going into the chipboard and I found two little seashells. So I tucked them in between two of the leaves there. Then I'm finding these little circles and one of them says the food. And in these photos, I am going to buy some patties from the Patty Man on the 7 Mile beach in Negril, Jamaica. And another one says sights and sounds. So I end up with those circle pieces and I put one in each cluster and I pop them up on foam adhesive. At this point, I'm kind of looking for something for that tab in the planner page. And now what I'm doing is I'm coming in with some foam adhesive and just tucking them under some of the leaves just to add, once again, a bit more dimension. But this turned out to be a really easy layout to create. Anyway, here is the finished layout. And all I did off camera was add my journaling and a puffy word sticker in the tab in that planner page. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd greatly appreciate a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the Scrapbook Nerd YouTube channel, we would be thrilled if you did. The same thing for my channel, Scrapbooking Quebec. Make sure to check out the Scrapbook Nerd online shop for these fun supplies and tons more. Also, check out our Facebook group for the Beach Party online crop. So you're going to find a bunch of links below. Take care, and I will see you soon on YouTube. Bye-bye.